I am George Moore for Civic Center TV. On this episode of The Biz, we're going to explore recovery and rehabilitation facilities. And we're here at the Marvin and Betty Danto Family Healthcare Center. We're going to ask the questions as to why patients may need rehabilitation.
A lot of studies have shown that when patients have, let's say, a heart attack, physical therapy, exercises alone will perfuse their lung, will perfuse their heart. Their heart will start pumping better and stronger when they exercise. And by exercising, your lungs and heart are getting better. So it's a process of a disease that gets better over time by exercising.
And we asked how rehabilitation differs for various injuries or ailments.
Strokes, heart attacks, hip replacements, knee replacements, those are all considered part of an inpatient rehab here at Danto. So yeah, if you had a stroke, we know that usually you get a stroke by having either a small ischemic emboli that goes to the brain. That it's almost the same thing as a heart attack. If you have a little clot that goes to the brain, we call it a stroke. If you have a clot that goes to the heart we call that a heart attack, and so forth. So usually when patients have a stroke and they have certain deficit or weakness, whether it's a right side or left side of your body, you do need to rehab that part of the body to recover. And that's a recovery process. Whether it takes a couple of weeks to a couple of months, we're here for it.
Because everybody heals differently, each rehabilitation plan varies from patient to patient.
Anytime a patient comes into the facility, we usually call it a multidisciplinary approach. So it depends on PT, which is physical therapy, depends on occupational therapy. It depends, we do have pain management and rehab doctors that round in a facility. It depends on the medical doctor himself to see if they have any medical necessity.
It all depends on where they are when they come into the facility. What is their goal upon discharge? What do they need to be able to do at home to be at home safe? Sometimes that's a week, sometimes it's a month. It just depends on the progress of the patient and their ability to progress with therapy based on their diagnosis.
Dr. Ibrahim explained to us what someone with an orthopedic injury could expect in rehabilitation.
Varies on each orthopedic injury, whether it's a knee replacement or hip replacement or, let's say, an arm injuries. Some of the basic ones are stationary bike, for instance, just walking, range of motion. Physical therapy and occupational therapy will show us later on how to do various exercises. But mostly we focus on the actual leg and the whole, the movement part of that leg and that hip. The more you can flex that knee or that hip, the better results you get further on down the road.
We also asked the doctor the difference between orthopedic and cardiac or stroke rehabilitation.
Whether it's cardiac or even how we mentioned earlier, a stroke patients, usually we focus more on daily activities once they go back home. Can they walk up the stairs to go to their room? Can they do daily activities of living is what we call? Can they write their checks? Can they do cooking? Simple stuff as this, cooking, writing a check, getting mail, and so forth.
Rehabilitation is not only physical, but mental as well.
A lot of our patients come in, they're depressed. They've been in the hospital, maybe they've had a stroke, they've fallen at home, they've broken a hip. They're not going to be able to function the way they used to. Their mental status is not the same. It's very difficult, and it plays a major role in getting them to participate. A lot of times they don't think that they can, but really reinforcing with them every day where they started and how far they've come really helps keep them in the mindset so that they can meet their goals to go home.
Well, we've heard from the experts, the doctors, the facility administrators, and importantly, the residents here at the rehab center. And we hope we've answered those important questions you had about physical therapy and rehabilitation and its importance to you and the community. For Civic Center TV, I'm George Moore, and that's The Biz.